Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to
BreakRoom,
Your favorite rapper's favorite podcast.
See, this is why I like your show. You guys charismatic. You know the right things to say.
Welcome to the BreakRoom, the podcast that comes to you live every Saturday night from Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm
Good.
Doing good.
Coming down from Turkey.
Coming down from Turkey.
Yeah, man. A lot of turkey, a lot of food.
Mm.
Good,
Yeah,
man.
I forgot. I just remembered. Oh yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Listen,
though.
let me just say, if you're still eating Thanksgiving leftovers, you might want to chuck them. I don't think they're good anymore.
Throw it out.
It's only been like what, 2 days.
Nah, it's not 2 days. It's been like 3.
All right, same. That's your food should be good for like a week.
At least
Nah,
She's like, nah,
not how most
I'm
of these
still
people
eating
keep
it. I
it.
don't care.
I don't
Also,
even have
shout
any,
out
but-
to the Dallas Cowboys.
We don't have
Yeah.
any either.
Listen, I know we talk about a lot of shit on this podcast, but Dallas Cowboys aren't one of them.
No.
How dare you disrespect America's team?
I don't know. Raiders did that Thursday in overtime.
They sent me his finger in an envelope, man.
Mhm.
All bloody and shit. I don't know what to do, eh? I don't know, man. I feel naked out there, B. I'm thinking how they got Sonny in some abandoned building or some basement just fucking bleeding, man. He's dying, man. They killing my little man, B. I'm about to be on some real murder shit, eh? Every nigga that ever looked at me owes me money. Ever said any jealous bullshit about me is fucking dead. You understand what I'm saying, eh? They fucking dead, man. I don't give a fuck about nothing, man. But I need my little man back, B. I need him back. I'm dead out here, man. I can't function, B. I can't.
That was great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I try. Just a little bit.
There's your audition video.
Right?
Right.
Now, we're going to be talking about a touchy subject, man. We're going to be talking about the real paid in full. Some comparisons from the movie to the real life story. They got a lot of shit right. They got a lot of shit wrong. Just ask Azie. He's still pissed about the end. What are we talking about? Again, we're talking about Paid in Full. The movie with Mekhi Phifer, Wood Harris, and Cameron. Now, I know everybody in this chat room except Soup has seen this movie.
I never seen that movie.
No, shut up. I watched it the other day. You seen that movie. Everybody's seen that movie. Coming from New York and being Puerto Rican, it's kind of a touchy thing, man. Not all of us are cutthroat motherfuckers. Well, most of us.
The dudes made Harlem look bad for a while.
It made a lot of things look bad for a while, but it made a lot of shit. What you'll find out from this is that they are responsible for most of the trends when we were growing up. Most of the shit that all these rappers and shit portray is because of this era. And this is the era I'm talking about after like Bumpy Johnson and all of them. You know what I mean? Maybe one day we'll talk about American Gangster, but not today. This is after all of that. This is a real life true story about Rich Porter, Azie Faison, and Alpo Martinez. Yes. We're talking about the dude that just got shot in Harlem a couple weeks ago. That's who we talking about. Now, I know you guys out there in Junkerland have seen that movie, right? If you haven't, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? They got it free right now on Pluto TV, so there's no excuses. It's a fucking classic. And if you're from New York and you haven't seen it, you're a disgrace.
Not even just New York. Like I get it's based in New York and that's where the main story is, but those dudes had an impact that was not just in New York City, especially Alpo going down to DC and flipping on them. So it's an East Coast classic.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah,
in hip
yeah.
hop, like even if you're from the West Coast, you've seen Paid in Full.
Definitely, but that's what I said. Like it influenced hip hop in the 80s too, when it took place.
Mm-hmm.
Like we was watching the documentary earlier that was narrated by Jadakiss. And Rich's sister said it. It's like he was like one of the only motherfuckers to be like, yo, page me or call me in 81, bro.
Yeah. That's how you know you had money.
Azie talking about in 85, he was like, yo, we need the 88 joint, like the car, the new Beam. And he got that shit with 50 racks. All black shit. We'll get into it. But it's like we have to start this with the man who really influenced all of it. Well, not all of it, just this story. If it wasn't for Rich Porter being who he was and who he grew up to be, we wouldn't have this Paid in Full story right now. First and foremost, we want to make sure we're politically correct on all of this as much as we can be, because we're again reading off of sites and shit. But condolences go out to all the families involved. We don't want to make shit seem like we're swaying one way, but here we go. So Rich Porter was born July 26, 1965. He was better known Richard Porter, and he was better known as Rich Porter. In the movie, he was known as Money Making Mitch. He was an American drug dealer who rose to prominence in the Harlem neighborhood of New York during the crack era in the mid-1980s. Porter was described to the police as being a mid-level crack dealer who sold about $50,000 worth of crack a week. The 2002 film Paid in Full was based on Rich and his partners Azie, Faison, and Alpo Martinez. Porter was the oldest of 3 children born to Velma Porter. Porter began selling drugs at the age of 12, rising through the ranks of the drug trade in Harlem.
Yes, Sunshine. It was based on a true story.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The true story right now. You're usually the first person in here, so you heard it. We're talking about the real Paid in Full. The real Paid in Full. We're going to do comparisons. The first comparison was Money Making Mitch to the real Rich Porter. His sister said in the documentary that from the time that he was 9, he would do little hustles here and there. You know what I mean? He was trying to make his money for himself and for his family. First thing he did was bag groceries in the supermarket. And the way he would hustle was that he would stay back for a little bit and he would watch to see who would be able to take the most customers the fastest. Which cashier was the fastest at sorting out the groceries and scanning it out. He would stay with that person all day, make his money. He would buy newspapers with that money on Sunday and go sell the newspapers to flip it. Once he seen that he could start doing this, he loved the hustle, so he eventually started off where every drug dealer I think starts off, and he started with marijuana. His sister said he noticed that the dollar joints and the little bags that he was selling was moving fast, and some of the white boys that would come down from Jersey only wanted hash. He didn't know where to get hash, but he tricked them. He threw sage and an egg in aluminum foil, threw it in the oven until it became a brick, chipped it off, and sold it as hash. After that, marijuana is the gateway drug. So after that, allegedly, yeah. But see, this is where I think that whole shit gets misconstrued. Like, I don't think it's the gateway drug if you smoke it or you use it. You know what I mean? Because most people don't want to chase a different high from that. But I think if you do start selling it, and the money's like a drug, you notice it's flying, you're getting it to move faster, you're making more money.
Hey, but it depends how you look at it, because you wouldn't have the need to want to sell something else if what's in demand. So if people only want to smoke weed, then you only sell weed, but people want to get other highs. So
yeah, but truthfully, every drug is always in demand. It just depends on your demographic
and the time period and all. But like right now, if you were to try to sell crack, you wouldn't make as much money as selling crystal meth.
In some areas, you might.
Selling crack in 2021?
Some areas you might, bro. But then again,
if somebody's smoking crack, they'll smoke anything. So
yeah, but then again, right now, most of the people that smoke that shit know how to make it too. So they're just gonna buy what they need to make it. You know what I mean?
Make life
Everybody
easy.
know how to make you get the recipe for that shit in every rap song nowadays.
We put that in the Boondocks, remember?
It's true though. It's fucking true. Throw that shit in the boiling water, a little bit of baking soda, stir it around.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying, it's in every rap song. They tell you how to fucking do it. Anyway. That's when he started making a name for himself. Yeah, he did. We're gonna get there though. Because he was still in school, even though he started selling drugs at 12. I don't remember when she said he dropped out to start hustling full time, but he knew Azie. So that's another place where the story got it wrong. Like, they were young. In the movie, they were at least in their 20s. In real life, these motherfuckers, they were driving cars and selling drugs at 17.
Mm-hmm.
They had all the latest cars by 17, bro.
Being school.
Yes, in New York, there are plenty of crackheads.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot of them.
Really, there's skid rows everywhere.
They're really everywhere.
Yeah, in suburban areas or country areas, they describe it as over the tracks. Literally. Yeah, so that's another thing they got wrong. They were young, which is now why I think 50's gonna redo it. He's gonna do a show.
You said 50's making a show about it?
Yeah, like he did with BMF.
Dope head. Yeah, there's a lot of things.
It's all right. I understood from the typo.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that, guys. Little man woke up, and I didn't want him yelling while we were live.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I'll take care of baby boys.
What a great shirt.
Bartender. Another.
Hey,
another side.
Love dub, motherfuckers.
Oh, see, put some ice in there. I got you on deck right here. It's already made. We drinking that Ciroc pomegranate over here.
Ooh, I saw that one.
It's pretty nice.
I still got some leftover peach E&J from Thanksgiving.
Oh no! If you're gonna drink peach whiskey, you gotta drink the Crown.
Yeah,
I already had Crown. We drink it all. This is what's left. Salud.
Peach Crown over here was like gold when it came out. That shit was flying off the shelf, bro.
In Florida?
Yeah, that shit was flying. You couldn't find it anywhere.
More than green apple, right?
Yeah, the green apple, the fucking
vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla. the dark label shit. I don't 100 proof.
Yeah.
I think that is. All of them shits was sitting on the shelf. All of them. They were sitting there. They wanted the peach shit, and so did I. I couldn't find it for a while. After I found it, I bought 2 bottles and drank one whole bottle. But that's another story.
Word.
Damn.
Another story for the day.
Well, he's not here. He left.
Yeah, he's going to check on those beautiful boys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, him and Azie knew each other from school. I wasn't too clear if they knew Alpo from school or Alpo came around later and just grew up in Harlem with them. But I guess we'll get there while we read this. Now, Azie Faison Jr. Was born November 11th, 1964, sometimes known by the nickname AZ. He's an American former drug dealer and businessman who attained notoriety during the war on drugs era as an individual drug dealer in New York. His 5-year reign as crime boss ended when he was 26. Faison was born in New York City and turned to selling drugs his early 20s. Quickly became the wholesaler in Harlem, in the Harlem neighborhood. He expanded the drug dealing business across the city and involved both childhood friend Rich Porter and associate Alpo Martinez, with the duo being instrumental in Faison's rise and fall. After retiring in 1990, Faison transitioned into the conscious rapper and entrepreneur, advising youth in impoverished neighborhoods to avoid the lures of drug trafficking. He formed the hip-hop group Mob Style, where he released an album as a member in the 1990s, as well as a solo release. He has also been subject to various dramatic portrayals, with his legacy serving as an inspiration for rap songs, documentaries, books, and movies, notably the film we're talking about from 2002, Paid in Full. They got that right. He was really in the laundromat when he started selling drugs, but he used to stash stuff in there. It wasn't that he found just that one brick from Lulu and stashed it there, and the guy found it and he flipped out and he boogied. The guy told him a bunch of times that he couldn't have shit there, and I believe it was a gun and not drugs that he found there when he ultimately fired him. But like I said there, they eventually linked up with Alpo Martinez. And Alpo was always, in everything I read, he was described as like the daredevil of the crew. And even at an early age with them, they would buy cars, dirt bikes, all of that. He would pop wheelies and shit. So they had that right in the movie. He was the flashy motherfucker. Cam played that part perfectly.
Because that's Cam.
Makes you want to hate
right? He's really not even acting. He's just being
Right.
himself.
That's
Yep.
him. Exactly.
100% himself.
It's ridiculous.
Albert Geddes Martinez, better known as Alpo Martinez, Abraham G. Rodriguez, witness protection. Oh, they put that on here? That's crazy.
He's
His
dead
name was
now.
Abraham G. Rodriguez in witness protection. You know, we'll get. I have a little bit of juicy thing, a little bit of a juicy find that maybe most podcasters wouldn't have found unless they did research in the places that we do. But
Maybe. You never know.
we'll get there. He was more simply known as Alpo or Po. In the movie, his name was Rico or Co. So, you know, it fits. It was pretty good. And like I said, he was Panamanian in Paid in Full. In real life, he was an American drug dealer of Puerto Rican descent, which is why sometimes we get, you know, a bad rap.
Fucking Puerto Ricans.
No, fuck that. Not all Puerto Ricans are like that.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, but you like that. New York City, from Puerto Rican descent in Harlem, New York City. He rose to prominence in the mid-1980s. In addition to New York, Martinez expanded his drug trade to other cities, notably Washington, D.C., which we'll get to. Martinez was released in 2015 while serving a 35-year sentence. All right, we'll get to that. Let's go back to the story at hand.
35 years. He didn't even serve 35 years.
How many did he serve?
Who, Alpo?
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I know.
91, he went to jail. 91, he went to jail and he got out in 2015.
That's crazy. He still did like, what was that 24, 25? After all the cooperation, flipping and stitching, still did 24 years.
And still got killed for it.
Oh, people will never forget.
Yeah, but we'll get to why he got killed for it. I don't know the exact. Well, yeah, we know the exact reason, but there's more to that, and it's part of the little juicy tidbits that I found. Where was I, Azie? After attending a screening of the 1983 film Scarface, Azie was influenced to enter the drug trade. You love it, but you didn't enter the drug trade.
Yeah.
Later that year, he established a working relationship with a local Dominican supplier who would frequently go to dry cleaners, Lulu. Faison would then become introduced to cocaine and would become one of the first distributors of the drug within New York in 1984. He was getting prices so good, he still to this day don't want to say how good he was getting the prices for.
That's funny.
By the time he turned 21, Faison would transition into becoming the cocaine wholesaler in Harlem, reportedly earning $40,000 a week or more. He would eventually expand operations until 1990 and became one of the most notable distributors during the war on drugs era in the United States. During this, he would become reintroduced to Rich Porter, a childhood friend who lived in the neighborhood prior to serving a sentence in prison. Prison, yeah.
Prison.
So we'll get back to Rich real quick on when he damn, they don't really got much of Rich. So his sister described Rich as like the ultimate hustler. You know what I mean? Ladies' man, swap debonair guy, always had all the cool shit. You know what I mean? The first to have everything. But he after he noticed he could do it so well, he started to expand. He started to get people to help him, workers and shit. And they would expand. And with the area they started selling drugs on, they said it was the Hill. And they went down, I guess, past where they were. And people started getting killed. And Rich ultimately went to jail after a little while. So they said after he got out is when, while he was in is when A started selling drugs. So that was true. And when he got out, they linked up. Where was I? Oh, right there. Porter would introduce Alpo Martinez to Azie, and the trio worked to expand operations in order to rise and become the largest distributors of cocaine in New York State. One of these places had where Rich and Alpo met. So the real pay the full story, Alpo Martinez, blah, blah, blah. While I look for this little tidbit real quick, why don't you guys tell me your favorite part in Paid in Full, whether it be my crew here or you guys over there that want to comment.
Now remember you did a little monologue, but the part where he tells him he always want to like Bird or Magic,
right?
Be one of them ball playing niggas. Like, I could get out the game. I don't have to keep doing this. But are they gonna still love me if I do it? It's like I know you've heard that in a whole bunch of songs and everything. It's like that's a classic line.
Yes,
because it's really true. So it's like, at what point do you say, am I selling drugs because I need to make money, or am I doing this because I actually enjoy the interaction with people? Because no one's gonna look at you the same if you decided to go legit.
True.
If you want to start your own business, that's cool, but nobody's gonna look at you the same. They're like, nah, we know you for owning a Ferrari in the middle of Harlem for no reason.
Having money.
Having fur coats and everything for no reason.
Having money for no reason.
That part of the movie pissed me off so much. I was like, yo, why they spend their money like that? But I get it. Like most
it was coming in so
caught up in
fast. You know what I mean? You start not having shit to spend it on. So you just blow it. You know what I mean? You probably already own half the building you're living in. The landlord ain't gonna fuck with you at that point.
Yeah.
You're paying off cops. It's the fucking early 80s, mid 80s. You're paying off cops.
You paying off cops today.
Yeah, but it's a little harder nowadays.
No, it's definitely more logistics involved today. Like I remember I only watched like the first 2 episodes of Narcos, and I was just thinking like, damn, Pablo Escobar made all that money selling drugs because there was no way to really track anything. The technology was so different back then. It was like you could make $1 million a week and nobody would ever really know.
Right. The only way they'll know
few
is if you
people.
start doing some flashy shit like they did.
True.
They were so flashy. There was a story on the documentary that they were saying they were racing Porsches, and they had this little fucking garage, and it was tight, but they had the cops by 3 blocks because the cops were chasing them. They dipped in the garage. Oh, what they said? Like 4 or 5 fucking Porsches or some shit.
I don't know.
Anyway, the cops passed it. But must have got to a point where they realized they couldn't have gotten that far, doubled back and went inside the fucking garage where Alpo and everybody was. And they said Alpo went and just paid the cops off. And that's it. It was over. They said they had so many cars in that fucking garage that if they went there and the particular car that they wanted to drive wasn't there, or there were no cars there, they would just pick up a bike. Or they will pick up an SUV. They'll pick up something, a dune buggy. You know what I mean? A go-kart. They'll pick up whatever and just drive that shit. They had a fucking plethora of vehicles. Plethora.
Crazy times. You can't. If you did something like that today, you're gonna go down quick.
Real quick, you're gonna go down in your first week.
As soon as you go buy the car, it's over.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "How did you afford a brand new Ferrari or Lamborghini?"
And you pay
What do you do?
cash.
What do you do for a living?
They're gonna look at it.
Why don't you ask your
Unless
mom
you gotta
what
use.
for a
You gotta use. He'll definitely take the cash. Like, yes, give me. I'll take it.
living? Yeah,
Take
definitely.
that bitch.
I mean, you could still probably find some fucking snake dealer that'll give you a brand new fucking car for cash money, but it's the paperwork. The paperwork is what's gonna get you caught.
Gotta have good fronts, clean your money.
Mm-hmm.
Or you be smart and pay for it in installments like a real fucking person. You dumbass.
Like a real person.
People
But
don't get that.
That's just not as cool though.
Yeah,
just
but
not.
it's the
Like,
way to stay.
Nobody wants to deal with that.
It's the way to stay clean.
No, the way to really stay clean is buy a fucking Hyundai Sonata and not worry and just put your money in an offshore account or some other places. But
Nah,
it's the dope game, so you gotta look good.
them offshore accounts, you can't trust them either, bro.
I mean, you can't
Word.
trust any. I mean, if you could play that with anything, like you can't really trust the
You can
account
only
here.
trust the mattress. That's it.
Yeah, but remember I was talking about Escobar. He had so much money he had to burn it, and the rats were eating it. You can't.
Yeah.
So you can't do it. I mean, I don't know. I heard people say that was just a rumor, but I don't know.
That's where they got that shit in
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys from, yeah.
Boys. Yep, everything is credit now, Nikki.
Mhm.
Everything is credit. Oh, it's starting to evolve because money's more digitized now.
Now
So that's
it's
why-
about to be crypto.
Yeah, it's about to be crypto. Now, getting back to Alpo real quick. He was born in East Harlem, known as Spanish Harlem, the Upper Manhattan, New York. Martinez was one of 2 children raised by a single mother. He attended a Roman Catholic school, Automotive Mechanical High School, and Julia Richmond High School before dropping out during his sophomore year. Martinez started selling drugs at 12 years old in East Harlem when he met West Side drug dealer Azie. Martinez started to move up the chain of drug deals in Harlem and eventually became one of the biggest drug dealers in the city with Rich and with Azie. See, they don't really define where their friendship started.
Wasn't it basketball? I know in the movie they put it like they playing basketball and they're always hooping. I believe that's probably what it was like in real life. But
maybe that happened in real life. But I know in the movie, Rich and Rico met in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And then he put him on when he got out. I'm not sure.
Probably hooping in jail.
That was the case. That should have been a sign right there. If that's where he met him, that should have been a motherfucking red flag.
I mean, it could have been because Rich did some time. All right. Back to Azie. Now,
especially if he act like Cameron too. Red flag.
Unfortunately, one of the true factors in this story was that of Rich's little brother. I don't remember what Sonny. His name was Sonny in the movie. In real life, his name was Donnell. Donnell. He was kidnapped during this whole. Now, we're fast forwarding. These motherfuckers are making money, bro. Like,
yeah, the early 80s. That's all it was.
Yeah, the mid 80s. By this time, it was almost the 90s. Oh, well, no, it was the 90s by this time because it was 89 when his brother was kidnapped. So late 80s at this time. He was kidnapped and they didn't know who kidnapped him at this point in time. No, you're right. It started in the early 80s. It played out through the mid 80s. But where we are right now, they're already established drug dealers. They've been hustling. Rich and Alpo were hustling since they were 12, 13 years old. Azie started later on in life.
What you was doing at 12, 13 years old?
Me? I was playing with my action figures.
I was still watching Cartoon Network.
Right?
Was being a kid.
Watching Adult Swim.
Fucking playing Red Light, Green Light, 1, 2, 3.
Nah, fuck that fucking Squid Games game.
Getting Nice and Dominoes.
No, I was playing Suicide. You ever play Suicide?
Of course.
I love that game.
Yeah. By that time, we was trying to roof balls and shit. Most of us couldn't even play in the street. These motherfuckers were selling drugs and running empires by 15, 16 years old.
Crazy.
So you were right, Nicole. You're not thinking of something else. But right now we're towards, the climax of the story. This is very real. Very real. His 12-year-old brother, Donnell Porter, was kidnapped in Harlem on his way to school. They try to extort Rich for $500,000. And
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, like they were making it though. They could have paid it. Still, they could have paid it. But I understand, like, where does it end? And then it's still not guaranteed that you're gonna get your brother back. You're gonna give up all this money, and he's still gonna die anyway. During this whole shit, they cut his finger off and left it at a spot. They called the family and told them where to go. They went. Rich and somebody else went to go find whatever they said they were sent to find, and didn't find it. They didn't find anything the first time they went. They went back, and the reason why they didn't The reason why they knew that it was true and wasn't a lie is because when they went back, they called back and asked and were very persistent on them finding what they left there. So they knew there was something there. And when they went back, it was an envelope with his finger in it.
Nice.
There was a recording, audio recording of Donnell saying
on a cassette tape.
Yeah, on a cassette tape, saying, Rich, please help me. Just give them the money. They're gonna kill me. I don't want to die. The same spiel that anybody would give if they're being held captive.
Or life on the line, whichever comes first.
No, he wasn't there. His finger was there. Not him. Just his finger.
Oh shit.
What they had right was he did everything he could to get the money, and he ultimately got some bricks and tried to make the whole sale of the bricks so he can get his brother back. Because the money's coming in so fast. You have money, but you might not have that much money because you spending that shit. You got cars, you got fucking bikes, probably apartments. You know what I mean?
Usually, all the jewelry they had, that would probably been good collateral. I remember watching Azie on talk about it on YouTube and how he really didn't like how the movie made it like glorified them. And and he was like, as you said, as he got further along in life, he kind of looks back on it differently. But the movie did the exact opposite of what it was intended to do.
It did. He wanted the whole moral of the story to be not to sell drugs.
Yeah, he was mad at James
bad
Ash
drugs
for that.
will ruin your life. Yeah. And that reminded me because I kind of skipped to. Let's go back 2 years. We were in '89 when they took Donnell and for $500,000 and they cut his finger off. But we skipped something. We'll go back to Azie because, like I said, by the time he was 21, he would transition to becoming a crack wholesale dealer. You know what I mean? And then he became the distributor. But his downfall begun in '87. I think he said August 20th.
I don't know.
You was watching the documentary with me. You don't know nothing?
I don't. Because I wasn't watching it.
TikTok is a hell of a drug. After he was a victim of an attempted... Oh, yeah. See, August.
Even
August
if I was,
87.
I don't remember.
After a robbery went wrong and left 3 dead, one of them being his aunt. So this was true. They got this right, and it was by his sister's boyfriend and 2 other people.
Bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes, sir. He was shot 7 times in the robbery. It caused the drug dealer network to falter, and he aimed to recover from his injuries. He got shot twice in the head.
They do.
He got shot, I think, 4 times in his leg, and it broke his leg in several places. He said it's a crazy thing to see the person holding the gun on your head and seeing them pull the trigger. And he said as soon as that happened, he left from his body. That they must have just kept shooting the body, but he was already gone. He was already into the light.
Yeah, he said he was embracing for the bullet.
Yeah, he said he braced himself.
The way you brace for a punch. See, I remember that.
Yeah. He said the way it's like how you brace for a punch, except you're bracing. He was bracing himself for the bullet because he seen when the guy pulled the trigger. And he said he was in the light, and that's when he asked God to bring him back down because it was ultimately up to him if he wanted to survive or not. Which is crazy because in the movie they made that scene is like that shit sticks in your head when you see it. That's a crazy fucking scene. You guys out there in Junkerland know what scene I'm talking about. Is the equivalent to the scene in Boys in the Hood when Ricky dies.
I'd say it's probably. I think that's probably a little more dramatic.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
It's close though.
All right, I'll give it to you. It's dramatic, but the paid in full scene where A gets shot and all these people die is more fucking anxiety ridden.
That's
like you're.
Yeah. They're both rough to watch, but I definitely see what you're saying.
It's an adrenaline rush because that nigga got it as soon as he fucking walked in.
I don't remember.
Yeah. He bust him with the gun. Bah! How do you not remember? You've seen Paid in Full multiple times, right? Been together 13 years. I know you've seen it multiple times.
Maybe.
Yes, Nicole. Yes. If you haven't seen the movie, I am sure you will enjoy it. Please go watch it now. Not right now. Maybe after we're finished with this. But definitely watch it.
Especially now that you're older. Now that you're older, you're going to pick up on shit like, fuck, I should have watched this at least 10 years ago.
The scene that I reenacted when we first started, you're definitely going to fucking cry. There's something about Mekhi Phifer that he makes you want to cry. Especially in Q.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's a good actor.
He's a good crier.
Yeah, that's what good actors do. Good cries.
He portrays like manly men. And he makes motherfuckers want to cry when he fucking busts down in tears. Anyway, Nicole, you're gonna cry. Dre, don't laugh at me, all right? You don't have to shut your camera off to laugh at me. Either that or you're going to watch the scene to cry right now, bro. I understand. I want to too, but for copyright reasons, I won't.
Don't do it.
They're gonna fucking Dame Dash is gonna sue me. Anywho,
Fuck him. Fucking guy.
After that, he was out of the game. Out of commission. Where was I?
He was out of the game. That's what you said.
Yes. This caused severe strain in the relationship between Azie, Rich Porter, and Alpo Martinez, with the latter eventually murdering Porter in 1990. Now, yes, you heard it right. It seems like a whole year, but it wasn't. It was months. He was taken in December, Donnell. December 5th, 89. Fuck. When Rich died, he was ultimately trying to get, bricks, trying to get some money. You know what I mean? For his brother. They wanted his brother. They wanted him back. Who wouldn't? I know I would do anything for my little brothers. I would try to get them back. I'll fucking go get some bricks. I want to know what to do with them shits, so I'll go get them. Anyway, January 28th, 1990, just a month after Donnell went missing, and all these phone calls and letters and fingers and shit. Like the letters, I mean, the tapes were gruesome. Like he was pleading for his life, saying, if you don't send them the money, they're going to send you my hand next. The finger was just a step. They're going to keep fucking cutting me up until you give them the money. January 28th, 1990.
Mind you, he's only 12. He was only 12
he was
at
only
the
12.
time.
He's still a little boy. Now, this is where you need to compare it, right? Rich was such a big drug dealer from the age of 12 on that his little brother at that age didn't have to touch that life. He was living his life as a boy, as a little kid. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, the sins of his brother are what killed him. And in January 28th, 1990, they got a knock at the door, and the cops asked for Rich's mother. This was the account that his sister gave us on the documentary, not personally. I wish. I'm not a big star yet to get those answers. Soon.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there. The cop knocked on the door. Sister answered. They asked where the mother was. The stepfather came out to talk to the cops and said that they found her son's body. And they thought it was Donnell. But it was, in fact, Rich. His body was found a mile away from where Rich's body was found. Less than a month later, Rich's murderer, his brother Donnell, was kidnapped and killed by their uncle. This site is all over the place. Let me explain it. On the 28th, the cops came and told them that it was Rich, not Donnell, that they found. We'll later find out how it happened and who it happened from, but they had the feeling already that it was Alpo. She said her mother, as soon as all that happened, she said, Alpo killed my baby. But we wouldn't know that until after, on an interview, nonetheless, Alpo confessed to that murder. They found Rich's body, and they still didn't find Donnell's body till I think maybe a couple weeks to a month later. They found him on Orchard Beach, and he was inside 14 garbage bags. Now, they said the media misconstrued this at the time and thought he was found mutilated in 14 separate different garbage bags, when in fact his body was placed in 14 different garbage bags all together, one after the other. And they kind of think that he took a play out of the Iceman's book and they froze the body, because the body was preserved perfectly when they found him. Shouldn't have been that preserved, no matter when it had taken place, the murder.
Must have been wintertime. Who knows?
Nah, bro. It had to be a freezer. I don't care how cold it gets in New York or upstate. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Besides, you leave it out in the cold, it's gonna get eaten by rats. It's fucking New York.
Mm-hmm. 14 bags or not? Motherfuckers was
No, we don't want it to get eaten by rats. We put it in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
14 Ziploc bags later.
Few months after that, Martinez was indicted. Alpo Martinez was indicted for federal drug charges in July of 1990 with two other men. The indictment against Martinez was dismissed when he remained a fugitive at the time. Their trial begun November 91. So a year after is when the trial begun. But according to the affidavit, Nathaniel Watkins, Rich Porter's cousin, Martinez's co-defendant in the Alexandria, Virginia case. So it wasn't just Washington that he expanded to. He expanded to Virginia too. A couple other states. The FBI in 89, co-defendant in the Alexandria, Virginia case told the FBI in 1989 he was present when Martinez gave $300,000 to a fellow drug dealer in a Crystal City, Virginia hotel room and instructed the man to take the money to New York. Watkins told the FBI that the drug dealer rode to New York in a limousine, which he and his girlfriend followed, and they went to a Harlem apartment where they met Martinez, who had flown to New York. Cheryl Gilbert, Nathaniel Watkins, and several witnesses testified that Martinez was a supplier of crack and that the member of the drug ring were involved in several killings, including Rich Porter. Now, this is my thing. If you knew he killed your cousin, why are you still running with him? Exactly. The silence is deafening. You don't run with somebody you know killed your cousin. Fuck, unless you have something to do with it too.
Unless you plot to kill him later.
It's some fucking shit.
I'm just saying.
November 7th, 91. What was you saying? Because I could barely hear you.
Oh, my bad. I was saying, like, not unless you set to get revenge on the nigga, you know what I mean? The best way is to, you know, play it close, you know? Act like you're part of his inner circle.
Yeah, but he killed your cousin, so the way you get back at him is you snitch? No, you kill him.
That's not what I'm saying, but no, you're right. Hey, man, I want to talk to you about this thing that happened. What's up? Pop. That's it.
Any who's my Bob. November 91, Martinez was arrested in Washington, D.C. for selling drugs. He was charged with conspiracy to commit murder, various drug charges, and 14 counts of murder, including the murder of D.C. drug dealer Michael Anthony Salters, a.k.a. Frey, and Brooklyn drug dealer D'Amico Benson. Facing the possibility of either the death penalty or life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, Martinez turned rat. Fuck what it says. Turned informant. He turned rat and testified against members of his organization for his testimony against Perry, who received 5 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Martinez was sentenced to 35 years in prison. According to the website of Don Diva magazine, this Ciroc is hitting.
What the fuck is prison?
49-year-old Alberto.
I didn't even catch that.
Said it twice.
Was released from Witsec FCI federal prison in 2015. According to the website, Martinez was a federal witness protection program awaiting a new identity. Now, we have made it towards some juicy information. But let me say that we have also made it towards the end of the movie, and where fucking Cam was like, fuck that, man. I'll give you everybody in DC, everybody, but I will never snitch on nobody on Harlem, man. That's what happened. That's what he did. He snitched on everybody on DC. Bitch. But he did a lot of shit. So he had, if you're neck deep in with someone, depending on what situation you do, I mean, you don't want to die. Why am I reading your screen?
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right.
Well, okay.
If you're neck deep in with someone, depending on your situation, you don't want to die ASAP. You need to set shit up where you take him out without fucking yourself over, I guess. Nah, fuck that, man. Fuck that. Where was I?
Soup's phone died, by the way.
I know. Soup's phone died. But Soup will give us his analysis on this whole paid in full situation when he watches the movie. Him and Talon, who will be here next week.
He's not going to watch the movie.
Talon's not old enough to watch it. He already made that clear.
Oh, my God. I'm almost ready to show it to my daughters, and he's not ready. Anyway.
He's not old enough, apparently.
So, Alpo, which they said his name here in Witness Protection Program was Abraham G. Rodriguez, AGR. Anywho, this credit goes to the Misery Machine podcast, hosted by Yergi and Drewby. Who these people are, I have no idea, but their name is weird because they're from Lewiston, Maine, where Alpo was stationed for his witness protection. And these people, they didn't know who he was at the time. They just knew that he was flashy. He frequent the nightclub almost every day, every week. And he was with rappers, would take pictures, you know what I mean? He wasn't laying low like people on witness protection should. Motherfucker was just out there.
Because he's dumb.
No, he became complacent with the lifestyle that he led. He thought he was untouchable.
He's dumb. So much untouchable.
Yes. So much untouchable that my man...
Pew, pew. Shot him with an 11.
On the morning of October 31st, 2021. That's right. Halloween. This year. A few weeks ago. At 3:30 a.m., Martinez was shot and killed. Not in Lewiston, Maine, where his ass should have been, but in Harlem, New York, while seated in his 2017 Dodge Ram, according to a various media outlet, including The Source Magazine, Hot 97, blah, 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 my dick.
I don't like that.
No,
part.
It's okay. He became complacent, and he went back, and he thought he was untouchable, and he got killed. And Rich's family was partying in the street, popping champagne and everything.
Dumb. He's dumb.
Yes, super dumb. Super dumb. You don't do that. You don't go back. Why'd you go back?
First of all, you was by yourself too. Like, you didn't even have you didn't even pay niggas to guard you at least a little bit. 6'9".
See, he got money like that.
Oh, but I'm saying
now
he's still flashy.
Everybody knew he killed Rich in their bone gristle, but they didn't have evidence until Alpo himself confessed. Yeah. I got this. I'm reading this article from Hip Hop Nightly. And it says, Harlem drug lord Alpo Martinez got 35 years in 91 after striking a deal on 14 counts of murder, including the killing of his business partner, Rich Porter, who Alpo believed was cheating him. The movie Paid in Full is based on Alpo and Porter's criminal crew. Alpo got out in 2015. While he was initially said to be in witness protection, he's become increasingly visible, complacent, like I said. He'll be at his, as it says is. I'm not bugging, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. He'll be at his most visible in a new tell-all documentary, Alpo, the documentary. First of all,
why?
I don't care.
Why the fuck?
I don't give a fuck that your name is Albert. Why the fuck did you name yourself after a dog food? I know it's the 80s. It's still a fucking dog food in the 80s. Let's find out. Where's Google?
Don't do it.
Where's Google?
I don't know.
Why the fuck you name yourself after a fucking dog food is beyond me.
You want everybody to eat his butt. I don't know.
When did the Alpo dog food first start selling?
1936.
Bam.
According to some information.
Damn!
It was definitely
1936.
Fuck. Anywho.
Yeah, we got out of New York. Even though, we're from New York.
Yeah, no, we're definitely from New York.
But we got out of there. It's a lot. It's
crazy.
Mine.
If people want to go to New York and live in New York and move to New York all the time. No. Every time I go to New York and visit my family, I always see somebody's like, I can't stand living in New York. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. But they'll never leave.
Well, we did.
Not us.
We got out.
We've been out so long. We went back when our children were still little. And they didn't even fucking like it there.
What am I doing with
ice,
that?
A little bit of ice. Do you want more than your cup? I need more than that cup. Let me, we're almost at the end of this episode, but let me take this time to show you guys what I'm drinking tonight.
Oh, we in our 30s too.
Yes, we are. Now,
what are you trying to say? We in our 30s too, guys?
The 1930s.
I am mixing. No, forget this deep voice bullshit. We're mixing here Ciroc pomegranate.
You had to do that?
I had to.
Fucking hate that shit.
We're gonna take
He
him
does
out.
it in the supermarket.
Ooh, too much.
Oh,
Oh no, it's the ice. Okay.
I don't know if you should be mixing now.
It's okay.
No, that's a lot.
Anyway.
I see it. That's a lot.
No, that's because of the ice.
You sure?
Yeah, give me my shot glass. I'll show you.
No, it's alright. Leave it. Yeah, so.
Ooh, I spilled some.
Told you.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I told you.
It's all right. We get fucked up tonight.
Tonight.
So usually, the first drinks I made, it was 2 ounces to 3 ounces of Ciroc in there.
Yeah, you definitely can survive anywhere if you survive New York.
You put another ounce of the peach schnapps.
Oh my god.
Gotta put a little more because
I don't know if I want that.
Ciroc.
I'm scared.
And then you throw a little bit of my favorite, grenadine. But let's face it, it mixes well with the pomegranate because it is pomegranate. What are we mixing?
Yes,
today?
Nicole, New York is toxic.
Tropical
You can survive
punch.
New York.
Of course.
You can survive anywhere.
Of course, you would come in when we talk about that.
I mean,
York
little
being
man
toxic.
is literally not going to sleep. So trying to give him like a 1-2, you know what I mean? Take your ass to sleep.
Don't be doing
1-2
1-2.
punch. You better leave my nephew alone.
Okay.
No, the 1-2 back rub and then
1-2 back rub.
Yo, listen, he is staring at the camera right now. This kid is fucking scary. I can see the glistening of his eyes.
What you're doing.
Passed out, and he's looking at the camera like, "Fuck you, looking at." He knows when that light is on. Oh, Daddy's watching me. Stare back at it.
He's smarter than your average bear, boo boo. Hey, boo boo.
It does. It does
Get me
prepare
another
you.
picnic basket. All right.
Tell you this much: being from New York prepared me for Arizona, because Arizona
It prepared
is.
me to not want my neighbors so close. That's what it prepared me for.
This is another thing that they had wrong in the movie. They didn't meet in a hallway, and he didn't like shoot him twice in the chest and once in the dome piece. That's what the movie had it as, I believe. That's not what happened.
What the
According to Alpo, at least. These are from his words, apparently coming from the documentary. And I quote. I'm gonna talk like this just because he was
It is serious.
un ratón. Okay? Okay. I was meeting Rich that night. He got into a van. Once he got in the van, I locked the doors. As I was pulling off, I was asking him, yo, Rich, where did you get that coke from? What? That shit good. All right, I can't do it in that voice.
First of all, is that supposed to be?
Yeah, it was supposed to be. I was meeting Rich that night. He got into a van. Once he got in the van, I locked the doors. As I was pulling off, I was asking him, yo, Rich, where did you get that coke from? That shit was good. Because I wanted to make him comfortable. He's like, I got it from my connect. From there, I knew he was lying. So I turned to my little man, Big Head Gary. I gave him the nod because he was short, so he could stand up in the van. Next thing you heard was 2 gunshots. Bang, bang. Rich slumped over and it happened. I was very mad. I just killed a nigga that I loved. A nigga that I was making money with. A nigga I called my brother, Alpo said. Alpo went on to explain that they drove to a secluded spot on the highway to dump the body. But as Gary wasn't strong enough to pull Rich out of the van by himself, when Alpo went to help, he realized Rich was still alive. So he took the gun from Gary and put a final shot in Porter's head. And there you have it. The story.
Motherfuckers killing motherfuckers.
The bitch
Motherfuckers killing motherfuckers.
Bitch ass nigga.
Beach ass.
I'm back.
Well, I don't understand, man. It was And if you listen to Azie, it's just like A Boogie in the movie. He said it. Everybody eats, man. Everybody eats. But when he left the game, he fucked up the game. He had motherfuckers already comfortable to the life. What y'all think about this story? What y'all think about the comparison from the movie to the real life?
That Alpo still a bitch. Each story.
Well, technically, he's not still a bitch because he's dead.
He's dead.
In each story, he's a bitch. That
He
they
was a
talk
bitch.
about him. He's a bitch. Was a bitch.
Oh, wait, what? I can't even say was he a bitch in life and afterlife.
Right.
That's fucked up. We still want to like not be too disrespectful to the dead.
I mean, but still, like, look what he did.
Nah, I agree with you. He was a bitch.
Still a bitch.
He wasn't a bitch so much for snitching because you don't know what you would do in that moment. You know what I mean? I mean, at least real
take that shit to the grave. Like we were raised to think, fuck that shit.
Yeah,
put a gun in my face. Like,
he's
nigga,
a
pull a trigger.
more for
Fuck
killing
you.
his mans, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can do that.
Worse.
You're gonna do more bitch shit after that. Even before that, you did bitch shit.
Yeah, you don't shoot a nigga that you rock with. You know what I mean? That you actually grew up with and went through life with. Nah.
Especially because you think he's shorting you a whole bunch of money that you already make. So even if he was, you could at least approach him about that.
Yo, but show him the benefit of the doubt. Exactly. Like, or you sit down with him. You poly with your boy.
Even if they
like,
fought,
yo,
they could have.
Yeah. Shoot the fade.
At least if you would have fought it out, you would have known. All right.
But he's a bitch. So he did a bitch move.
He should have gave him the respect he deserved and pulled him to the side like, yo, I feel like you shorting me on my shit.
Gotta watch it, Nicole. Gotta watch it. Me too. I gotta watch it too, apparently, because I don't remember.
What? Don't play with me because we'll watch that shit.
You don't remember. You remember watching it right next to him.
I don't even remember certain parts.
I can't even remember the last time I seen Paid in Full, but I've seen it enough.
Look, I'm
gonna watch it again. Probably
it's free. It's free on Pluto right now. Pluto TV.
You know to go. Oh, I was just gonna say another good thing to watch now that you're older: state property.
Nah, Paid in Full is better than state property. Although
Talon can't watch that. Talon's not old enough to watch.
Oh, that's right. Talon ain't old enough, right? He was he 29? He haven't even touched the 30.
He's 30.
He can't watch him.
No, he's not. That baby face motherfucker. He's 29 and 3/4.
No, he's 30, but he's studying to be in the priesthood, so he can't watch things.
Is that what it is?
Priesthood, huh?
Priesthood, yeah.
That makes more sense than what he said.
He's abstaining and everything, not by choice.
All right, I'll do my best.
I'm a house eye.
So
you're a house? I thought she said she was a house.
No,
I think she meant to say not in my house.
Not in your house, what? The movie? You can't watch it? Why? It's a good movie. You need to watch that movie.
Oh,
if you haven't seen it, go out there and seen it now. Dame Dash, you owe me a little bit of money for this promo. So do you, Pluto. But I highly recommend it, whether you have to rent it or
this is the type of
well, why rent it? I just told you where to get it for free legally. Go to fucking Pluto and sit through the couple commercials it'll play. It's worth it. It's a good fucking movie, and it's not edited, so it's out there. Now I'm a housewife and I take care of home. I understand. Sometimes it got to be done.
Word.
I don't know what you're saying, Miguel, because I can't hear you.
I said, was he talking?
Yeah, look, he's moving his mouth, but nothing's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Best way to take care of your home? Put on all 3 John Wicks. Don't say nothing.
Listen, don't get like Talon, all right? At least I've seen classics.
Fuck is happening right now? You sound like a fucking robot.
Look, and then he froze again.
Sound like a fucking Chinese movie.
Anyway, like I was saying, you don't have to pay for it right now. Just go to Pluto, the app on your phone, the app on your TV, the website, wherever you want to go. Go under the movies. It's free. right now. Go watch it. It's starring Mekhi Phifer, Wood Harris, and fucking Cameron.
Motherfucking bitch ass Cameron.
I guarantee you after that movie you're gonna hate Cameron. I guarantee it.
I hated him before that.
I
So
fucking love Cameron, so there's really not much you can do to make me hate him. So yeah.
Can't. I hated him before that.
And there you have it. Another episode of the Break Room.
Like that?
We're still struggling to figure out what we're going to talk about next week. However, I feel like we should talk about the story of the guy that I interviewed 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yes. Terry Rich. Terry Rich is responsible, well, one of the people responsible for bringing down the biggest lottery fraud in U.S. history. Well, Terry Rich, a lotto ticket, 2 hot dogs, and Bigfoot are the reason why the biggest lottery in U.S. history was taken down.
Now, weird shit.
Mr. Rich said that if we do our research and we present an episode for it, that he will, in fact, jump on the show with us and explain it fact by fact.
The name of the movie?
Paid in Full.
What he said.
PAID in full. Paid in full.
How you gonna spell the?
Because I don't want nobody to think I'm saying pain in full. You know what I mean? It's paid. Paid like money in full.
I thought it was pain all this time.
Oh my God. Like the pain I'm feeling in
this
my
whole
piece right
time.
now.
I thought it was pain. No, for real.
Anyway, I really think we should do that next week if we can't come up with a suitable topic.
I mean, yeah, Tallin said he had an idea. I don't know if he was serious.
Hopefully he's old enough for it. The topic.
Right.
Well,
I just couldn't see those movies when I was 6 years old. All right, bro.
Yeah.
We got it. That was 25 years ago.
It wasn't quite 25 years ago, but it was.
No, I'm talking about for him. It was like it's 24, 25 years ago. A movie came out you couldn't see. You can see it now.
Yeah, you could.
Or in the last 5
I
years.
understand him. I mean, there's a lot of good movies coming out now, so he might not have time. But you feel like what?
She's seen it.
Come on.
Let
me tell you.
Check.
Listen. I'll tell you right now. Right? If you don't know it from the title or the people that I'm explaining or the story, you haven't seen it.
First of all, I thought it was pain.
No, you did not.
In full.
Listen, Junkers, she is fucking lying to you. We have been married for 13 years.
You don't know what's going on in my brain.
She has seen this movie on multiple occasions.
You know what's
just
happening.
like The Godfather.
You don't know what's happening in
just
here.
like American Gangster. Just like all of those movies.
What American
just
Gangster?
Like Matt. Jane Silent Bob. Classic.
No, I remember that. I love that movie.
I'm telling you, you've seen it just as many times as Paid in Full.
Maybe.
Paid in Full, you guys. Paid in Full.
It makes sense now that it's paid in full.
Yes, paid in full. And this episode has been paid in full. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to go to Spotify and leave us a 5-star rating. Or leave us a 5-star rating wherever you watch the show. Please like and subscribe and definitely share. Definitely. Go check out the episode from last night. We got taken over on Talking Junk again by King Tech TV and the King's Table. Mr. Dismos, Mr. Roach Killer. They had the Queen, Newbie the Ear Hustler, and Mr. DJ Mark Love, which we hope to have on the break room soon to give you guys a DJ set. Soon, hopefully. A lot of big things coming, so be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Click that button on there wherever you are so you can get updates. Whenever we're going live, whenever we get a post, whenever we wipe our asses, you will know about it.
You don't need to know that.
I don't know about it.
You will know.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Stay golden, everybody.
Thank you very much.
We love you, and we will update you this week about what will go down next week.
What? All right. Peace out.
What? What do you mean, what?
I said peace out. That's what I said. What are you talking about? You said bye. What are you talking about?
Make that money count. Make that money count.
Mm.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to
The BreakRoom.